Hi, hello. My name is Emerald and this is my YouTube channel. Thank you for clicking on my video. And if you're coming back again from watching my previous videos, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you so much. You probably liked the video, but if you didn't actually click the like button, I'd appreciate it if you did that. Today I'm going to be updating you about the stimulus checks, of course, and what's going on in Congress. On December 29th, Secretary of Treasury Steven Mnuchin said that the U.S. Treasury had delivered a payment file to the Federal Reserve. If your last check was received by direct deposit, you can expect the same. Some have already received their deposits. You can comment below if you received yours. Physical checks have begun processing, and you should see those within about 2 weeks. I believe the deadline for these stimulus checks to go out was January 15th. I'm not sure if that changed due to all the hubbubaloo going on in Congress. I don't know if that's a word or a term or a thing, but hubbubaloo sounds correct. In a few days, you can track your check via irs.gov. The checks being sent out are the $600 checks. If these $2,000 checks are ever passed, then that will be topped off of the $600 that you already had. So they'll be sending you an additional $1,400 and $1,400 for your dependents. December 21st, an omnibus bill was passed to be signed by President Trump. He said he wouldn't sign it the next day due to the ridiculously low $600 stimulus checks. A few days later, he actually signed the omnibus bill. But within the days between him saying no and yes, Democrats were actually able to push for a standalone vote of the $2,000 checks. Now, this vote was actually passed by a surprisingly 2/3 of the House of Representatives, including about 44 or 46 Republicans. Now, once that clean bill, the amended bill, got to the Senate, Mitch McConnell shut it down. Here are a few words from Bernie Sanders on the situation.
Right now, the issue on everybody's mind is, how do I survive? How do I feed my kids? How do I not get evicted? The House last night did the right thing. We fought hard to get a direct payment in the original bill, the $600 payment. That's not enough. We wanted more. And what the House did is they raised that to $2,000. What must happen now in the Senate, what I'm fighting for, is to make sure that that clean bill, the bill that was passed in the House, comes to the Senate. We voted up or down, and frankly, between you and me, I think we have the votes to pass it. So what we have got to do is just demand that McConnell bring forth a clean House bill. The House did it. By the way, they did it in a bipartisan way. I think there were 46 Republicans who voted for it. Bring it to the floor. I can't guarantee that it's going to win in the Senate. We need 60 votes. I think we got a damn good shot to win it. Bring it to the floor for a vote, Mitch. That's what democracy is about. That's what our job is, to vote these things up or down. Let's get that vote.
Last week, December 23rd, President Donald Trump actually vetoed the massive $740 billion defense bill. This was pretty unexpected, being as though this same bill was signed into law almost 60 consecutive years. Section 230 of the defense bill is a law that protects internet companies from liability for the content they host, and is widely credited with opening doors for internet companies, big and small, to grow their online businesses over the years. Now, this seems to be President Trump's reaction to being censored by Twitter and other places because of his false claims of a rigged election. That's right, he blocked the $740 billion defense bill because Twitter added to his tweets a label saying that this may be false information. A few days ago, Trump tweets, "Unless Republicans have a death wish, and it is also the right thing to do, they must approve the $2,000 checks ASAP. $600 is not enough. Also, get rid of Section 230. Don't let big tech steal our country, and don't let the Democrats steal the presidential election. Get tough." That is what the president tweeted. It's funny to me because now Mitch McConnell is trying to package the three things, Section 230, the stimulus checks, and the election fraud, together, to be voted on together. Have you ever told your kids to go to bed and brush your teeth? Now, have you ever seen your kid sit in bed while brushing their teeth? No, right? President Trump in his tweet said that we should hit all of those things, but he didn't say they have to be done together. Mitch McConnell is the one imposing that these are put together.
The Republican leader claims that President Trump insists that all three issues must be addressed in one bill. But of course, the president has made no such demand. President Trump couldn't care less about how the bills are packaged in Congress. So the Republican leader has invented an excuse to prevent a clean up or down, yes or no vote on $2,000 checks.
Now, it's now December 31st. I believe on December 30th, senators took turns shooting each other down.
He has twice objected to my requests to set a time for a vote on the measure.
In the midst of these past few days, Mitch McConnell actually said that the NewYear's Act would benefit people who don't need the money, benefit people who are making six figures. Says the person who's making, 10 figures? He says that the money will go into hands of the Democrats' rich friends. Who, me? That is a funny twist, being as though, I'm just gonna let the Democratic leader fill you in.
Bemoaning the idea that some of the checks might go into, quote, the hands of Democrats' rich friends who don't need the help, unquote. Senator Toomey said much the same thing. Well, funny, I don't remember the Republican leader and Senator Toomey complaining about how a $2 trillion across-the-board corporate tax cut was poorly targeted because some large companies didn't need the help. Nope. When corporations get a blanket tax break, that's fine by the Republican majority. When the average American gets a little help from their government, it's poorly targeted. I hope that every American heard the objections by these Republican senators. I hope every American who has their water or heat or electricity shut off, or had eviction notices stapled on top of one another to their door, or had to choose which meal to skip on a given day. I hope they all heard the reason they will not receive $2,000 checks is because Leader McConnell thinks it could wind up in the hands of, quote, Democrats' rich friends.
So to conclude this video, we are receiving $600 checks. $2,000 checks are actually still going to be negotiated, but at the sake of Section 230 and the presidential election.
Just to prove it, let me make this offer. We're willing to vote on the other issues that President Trump mentioned, so long as we vote on them separately. That way, $2,000 checks could become law, and we could debate all the president's supposed concerns. That's completely unrelated to help Americans paying their bills. But we're willing to take a look at the whole picture. Just give us a vote on the House-passed bill so we can get help now to people who desperately need it.
Joe Biden is still promising to give us another stimulus check once he is president. I hope that just about summed up the stimulus check situation for you. It is an ongoing situation, and I will continue to update my peeps. Comment on this video what your thoughts are and what your New Year resolution is. One of my New Year resolutions is to be more active. Well, if you made it this far, I'm just going to let you know that I am also going to be making a video about the COVID-19 vaccine. I'm going to do my research about what a vaccine is and how it works and what is in this new vaccine. Thank you once again for watching my video. I appreciate you so much, and I would just like you to know that no matter what is going on in the world, that you have the ability and the privilege and the obligation to live freely, vibrantly, and proudly, and not to let anything, and I mean absolutely anything, stop you from making this year and every year your year.